Semi-final number 2, and it's the all-important game: India versus England. I have Rohan with me. Rohan, goosebumps must be there. You must have thinking about 2022 revenge as well. But this England side is a very, very big batting lineup. Even India has that. How important is this clash? Do you see that? Is it a 50-50 clash?
50-50, yeah, Pritham. I mean, revenge is too hot a word, I feel. I mean, whatever we have achieved till now, I think it's just because of the brand of cricket we have played. We have played, each player has a set role and they have done it quite well. And in case somebody ain't performing, somebody else has stepped up and matched their capability as well. And that's what you want in a team, right? All fingers are not the same. Each one has a role, and they have done their roles. And I feel the team is more relaxed at this point of time, so I think that's more important. I think when you're calmer and this thing, the kind of decision making is also improved. So end of the day, if there is no pressure, I know as an Indian team there's pressure even you play book cricket, but end of the day, if you are more sensible and calm, I think things can fall in place better. And let's not take pressure, let's put the defending champions under pressure and let's enjoy our game, man.
Absolutely. That's the main thing that you're saying. Pressure is not there. Every single, I'll come to the batters first. Every single batters that is coming onto the new batters, not taking any pressure. That day, Sky hit a six of Tanzim Sakib over fine leg first ball, and the next ball he got out. But the next batsman, Shivam Dube, probably came into the crease
Yeah.
and he looked normal. So that's absolutely right from your end, Ron. The players are enjoying themselves in the middle. Let's take a look into the journey so far for these two teams in the Super 8s. Starting with Team India, I think it was special, to be honest, in the Super 8s. We won, we keep the unbeaten run, but how special was it defeating Australia? When Travis Head was looking set, we were all thinking maybe he's thinking back on to 19th of November doing that, but it needed a Jasprit Bumrah masterclass once again.
Yeah, Pritham. See, when you beat a team like Australia, you get that little extra confidence because they are the world champions in all formats right now. So that kind of gives you that extra momentum and that self belief that whatever happens, we have the players in form and kind of in rhythm also in terms of the bowling, like Arshdeep or Bumrah, as you said. Bumrah is a genius, man. I mean, put him in under any situation, he can turn the game up.
Absolutely.
So I think that's more important for us. Is as a unit we are performing, not just the batters but the bowlers as well. The fielding has been exceptional. Like the catching, I think that's been. If you see Australia, they miss so many chances. Very unlike them. I think that's why they are out. But
Especially
whatever
that
be said,
Mitchell Marsh catch.
yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like if you catches win matches, right? So unless you take those extraordinary catches, like Akshay pulled off that tripper, that kind of changed the momentum. Until then, Australia was going like a train with the head and Marsh, as you
Yeah,
said. So you never know, one piece of magic brilliance can give you that extra momentum. So I think against England also we need a bit of touch of magic because they are a well drilled side, especially in the T20 format. So if you need a bit of magic, you can't expect the usual guys to deliver always, right? You need to be having some contingency plan if in case the big ones don't deliver. The support kind of guys also have to step up and match because it's a knockout game. You stand out, it's a chance for you to become a hero as well.
correct. Absolutely. You need to become a hero. On the other, in England, I think they more or less did the job. They got the job done and progressed to the semi-finals. But against that loss against South Africa, I think their lower order batters still needs to perform. Be it Harry Brook, be it Sam Curran, Livingston, I think they need to get their firepower going because it's always we have seen Johnny Bairstow, Moeen Ali, and the two openers, Butler and Salt, doing the most of the damage.
I mean, they are a very one-dimensional team in terms of the batting. Everyone kinds of bats at the top gear. Especially, I always feel conditions are king. A place like Guyana, hoping no rain, it is a kind of a slowy pitch, tacky bounce, grips the surface enough. So you can't always be free stroking there. You need to gauge the conditions, couple of overs only. And once you are set, you can make it big. It's not like a new batsman comes in, he can straight away start smashing them. No. So I think this will be a slightly tougher kind of pitch for the English batters to settle it down. I think that's where I think even if India played or even Afghanistan had this condition, I think these kind of Asian teams will having a little bit of more extra edge compared to the Englishmen or South Africans here. So I think that's the reason I feel India has a little bit of edge.
India has a little bit of edge just because of the conditions. But when we talk about conditions, where do these two teams play in the semi-final number 2? Let's have a look. Is the pitch report? It's going to be played at the Providence Stadium, Guyana. Before I go on to the stats, Rohan, as you know, I know the entire country knows the weather is not good out there. But now I'll come to you, Rohan. You can see the stats. chasing is the right ploy here, but Rohit in big games doesn't have a toss luck out here. But how important is the toss?
That's the reason I said, Pritham, you need to have contingency plans always. You always can't expect toss to go in your favor. By chance, you will have to bat first or bat second. You need to be equally adept at it, your tactics, your adaptable ability as a batter or bowler to come out on flying colors. Because international games, you can't have the scope of giving these excuses. Yes, the nature is not in our control, rain or dew or whatever those matters. But how quickly you can adapt to those changes and execute your skills, I think that's what matters. End of the day, you're a professional cricketer. How well you can have a plan B, plan C apart from your top plans. I think that's what differentiates the good teams to the great teams.
Absolutely, and that's the reason why we might have a thrilling game. Fingers crossed. Let's see, because according to the rules, in a semi-final game, you need to have 10 overs as a minimum, not a 5 overs to have a declaration of a game. So, whether gods, we don't know what you have, but if India and England match doesn't happen, India progress to the finals run, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because they
Okay,
finished higher
so
on the groups.
absolutely. So India finishes higher on the group. So if there is a abandoned game, India progresses to the finals. So we will see that. Let's take a look into the top three players to watch out for. Okay, so for India, it's a no-brainer. The way Rohit Sharma batted the previous day, I think that's one of the best innings, the T20 innings I've watched. The way he was tonking Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, it was enjoying Marcus Stoinis as well. Jasprit Bumrah, he doesn't need an introduction. Hardik Pandya, as we said, he was the missing puzzle in the ODI World Cup 2023. Once he got injured, a balance got disturbed, but fingers crossed, he's fit and fine. Let's hope he has fit and fine for the next two games and lift us a trophy. For England, Phil Salt, Adil Rashid, I think he's going to play an important role in these kind of conditions. Reece Topley, Indian players against left-arm pacers, they have a different story. If you can sum it up all these six players, please, Rohan.
To begin, Pritham, I mean, Rohit's knock, as you said, was complete classic knock. You know, the Rohit Sharma of old, bringing out his attacking instincts and the pull shots. He was connecting it damn well. I mean, the sound of the bat was sweet. I think.
Talk us through that shot of Pat Cummins, the way he slog
Oh,
swept
holy moly.
out of the
That hit the
ground.
stadium roof, man. That was huge.
Absolutely.
It was looking like all the frustration of the 19th of November is taking out on that particular bowling attack there. Especially of Stark to begin with, those 29 runs in that over. I think
29
that
runs in the
gave that
first, yeah,
momentum because there was a
second
bit
over.
of rain around and batting wasn't so easy. We had lost Virat also early. So that immediate next over to take the game front on, I think that shows leading from the front, and Rohit did it brilliantly. Uh, People may think about hundreds or not, but end of
He
the day,
doesn't.
that had that impactful knock with that intent that's going around. I think that's what matters. I think you play your game in a set way. I think all these milestones are byproducts of that, so it will come along the way. So no need to. I mean, Rohit is in a zone of greatness. I think milestones won't really matter to him. Neither should it for any of the Indian fans. Bumrah, as you said, genius man. You don't need any introduction. He can pick you wickets up front, new ball, middle stages, death overs. So he's the king. So I think he is doing his job pretty well and helping Arshdeep as well from the other end. Hardik, as you said, was the missing key that we kind of there was a bridge that was required from the
Absolutely.
middle order to the lower order and the all-round option, giving in those 4 overs. Yeah, he may be expensive at times, but he has the knack of picking you a wicket from nowhere. I think that's what
Absolutely.
his role is to do that, and the power hitting at the end, along with Shivam Dubey and Co there. For England, yeah, Jax has done well. Rashid, uh, I think as a leggy, he has a good control and has a very good googly.
Absolutely.
So the
Googly. Yeah,
matchup against our
absolutely.
players, be it the spin hitting of Shivam Dubey, Hardik Pandya, I think how well Surya can counter him will be pretty much a good matchup for us.
The sweep
Top
might
lane,
just come into play.
definitely. And the guy who can do the both ways. I was actually talking of Rishabh Pant. If he gets in, he won't let Rashid settle 1 inch for sure. Topley, because of this, not just left arm angle, he's a pretty tall guy. He gets a little extra bounce as well. But for me, the danger guys can be the top of the order. That's someone like Josh Butler, because he has a good records against us in big games. You can say, along with him, a Sam Curran can kind of, because he's enough experience in the IPL and his off-pace deliveries at Guyana can be useful too. So we need to be very, and not to forget the guy who was returned after all the injuries, Jofra Archer. I think maybe the pace can help us a bit, but he's a quality bowler. If you can play him out well, I think that will be a huge difference for Team India.
Absolutely. You said about all the players. I'll come back to Adil Rashid. You said about the man who can hit both sides. Rishabh Pant already got out twice with a reverse sweep. do you think he will think thrice before hitting once, bro,
I
tomorrow?
won't be surprised if the first ball itself he will go for the reverse swing. That's Rishabh for you. So no, he won't bother about these things, man. That guy, he let him be what he is. He'll play his shots. I mean, the classic example was against Pakistan when everybody was struggling on a pitch like New York. People are saying he's slogging maybe, but for that pitch, that was the only way he could score runs. You saw whoever was
Similarly
playing
to the
that.
Rohit innings the other day.
Yeah, but at least Rohit innings that pitch was favoring the batting. New York was up and down, favoring heavily for the favor of the bowlers. To come out and score those 40-yard runs in the manner he did it, when everybody were playing classical cricket, they weren't getting any runs, not even run a ball. You saw Babar struggle, everyone else. But Rishabh was the turning point who gave you that extra runs
Momentum.
more the momentum, just that he stabilized everything because of his crazy hitting. The planning of the Pakistani bowlers kind of suffered as well. So a guy like him, just like how Maxwell comes off, you don't know how you plan to him. They can score both sides of the wickets, and they'll play the same. I mean, two different shots for the same kind of ball. So you never know what Risha will do. You want those guys to click in those big games because they'll be your match winners. That's the reason he's in that 11 ahead of Sanju maybe, or even Jorel or whoever Jitesh earlier. The X factor that Rishabh Pant can give you in key knockout games. I think that's what we want Rishabh to stand out.
Absolutely. So you summed it up, all the six players, very, very well. Thank you so much for that, Rohan. Let's take a look into the top three battles, according to me, in this game. Here are three battles I've chosen: a Virat Kohli versus Reece Topley, number one; Josh Butler versus Jasprit Bumrah, number two; and Harshdeep Singh versus Phil Salt, number three. I couldn't choose which one I can. I'll hand it over to you, Rohan. Which one are you definitely watching out of these three?
And definitely Bumrah versus Butler. If Bumrah can get knock over the English skipper, I think that's half the battle won. They say attack the head of the snake. If India can rock him up, I think that'll kindly give extra belief to the Indian team. Asdeep
But
has
how
done well.
important is, yeah, yeah, I was about to come to how important is Phil Salt on the other end.
Phil Salt again because of his IPL experience, I think has come into decent form. And of course, the pitches which he played in the Caribbean also helped him early on, and the opposition they played. Arshdeep has been your leading wicket taker. It's because of his. I think he has evolved pretty well. Not just up front with the swinging ball. I think we saw the other day against Australia. He started reverse swinging the ball as well. So that shows the skills have been got up higher, one notch, I'll say. And Arshdeep, if he can give you those early wickets, I think that'll open up one end because not just Bumrah, someone like an Hardik can come in and give you those slightly tighter overs and helps our spinner in Akshar or a Kuldeep. So I think that's why Ashdeep picking those wickets has helped us more. Virat versus Topley, he has not yet fired yet, and irrespective whether he does or not, as long as team doing well, I think it's helping that you can say that. But king is king, yeah. You know him, if we chance get to chase, that's when I think we'll see the real Virat Kohli. Or if there's some needle out there, I think it's far too chilled up. Maybe the Caribbean air or something is too relaxed. I think the maestro of Sir Viv Richards came down the other day. Wes Hall was there as well. Other game before that, I think if these guys have inspired him enough, I think that one Virat Kohli special knock to give us a victory is most awaited by all his fans.
Absolutely. You said about the chase master. If he gets to chase, in the big games, he can deliver. But let's not talk about it. He's yet to fire, but it's just one game away. Let's hope it's tomorrow, but we'll not discuss much about it. Let them play the way they are. We're done with the battles. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11. Here it is for India. It's the same team. I think I'm not going to change anything. But I'll come to this point, Rohan. Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel. I think there is a big competition going on between them. And I think in this World Cup, by hands down, I think Akshar has surpassed him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, moving forward in the T20 game, definitely Akshar is your prime all-rounder spinner, I'll say. But Jaddu, because of the experience, and not to forget his fielding, man. Just the aura he can create around it, where people don't run to him an extra run or something like that.
Correct.
That's where Jadeja's quality actually comes through. Yeah, he has not fired even in the IPL or with the ball or with the bat, but experience counts, man. The amount of what do you call the hot spots that he patrols, I think that kind of adds to the value that he brings to a team. He may not save 25 runs as in a ODI or a test, but those saving 5 runs matters because it's a close game T20. Jaddu's special or even his fielding of direct hits, I think that's where Jaddu can come in. If he gets any runs, is a bonus. But certain matchups like against a Livingston or those guys, if Jaddu can, and we know Guyana does help
Maestro is
spin,
there.
and little help in the wicket, Jaddu is 10 times more
Correct.
dangerous, as we all know throughout. So if Jaddu gets his act right, I'm sure all these guys will come through. As Indian fans, unchanged, yes, definitely. Keep going on. Whatever has happened has happened. Two more big games to go. Keep your roles well. No pressure. Let the opponent be your favorites and whatnot. You go out there, enjoy, and just smash them, man.
Absolutely. Smash them is what Rohan says. But on the other end, England, I think they are going with the unchanged 11. Massive inclusion was Chris Jordan in place of Mark
Yeah.
Wood. I think that it worked out well for him.
Yeah, again, because of his CPL experiences as well, I think bowling those slow, he got a hat trick as well at his where is that, Barbados, right? Yeah, in the place where he was born. So I think that was special for Jordan. But again, he can be erratic at times, give you those full tosses and stuff.
Correct.
But there's not consistency with him. I mean, the franchise Jordan to the England Jordan, there's huge difference. I feel what turns up, and he's a good death bowler, balls those Yorkers, pace off. I think if India can just play him out smartly and not give him wickets, especially the fag end of it, I think India can benefit. But for me, the real matchups is when maybe after the power play, a Rashid comes through or Karan or these guys. I think that's where if India can win this middle over spell, I think the power play and the death overs can take its course easily.
Absolutely. Two spinners they have. They have also Moeen Ali and the four pacers. So it's going to be very, very important for India to see out whom they attack and whom they play out. We're done with the predicted playing 11. It's time for the predictions. Time now. Massive pressure on Rohan right now. Semi final number two. From heart or from mind, India versus England. What's your percentage for this one, Rohan?
I mean, honestly, I feel it's 50-50. I mean, not sitting on the fence or anything, but another thing is the rain factor as well. You don't know if it's a reduced game, uh, how it will go, the DLS may come in and all those things. But end of the day, just the way this Indian team has gone through and more relaxed, I don't see them carrying that extra burden of anything. What's happened in the 50 over World Cup or in the earlier T20s. I think they've just been more relaxed. I think that's the kind of calmness which we associate with what MS would bring into the team, and we know what the results were when MS was there. So I think just to rub it off a bit, I think India should win this game. I think this will be a tougher game compared to all that's happened so far, even as Australia, Pakistan, whatever.
Okay.
England are a gun team. They are the defending champions. It will be a very close contest, I do feel. But generally, my gut feel is the semi-final is your real test. You pass through the semi-finals. Finals sometimes can be a bit of a breeze at times. Historically, whoever have been the champions, that's how the pattern has been. So if India, even though it's a tough game, close game, well fought out, maybe a bit of luck also is required, either with a toss or a decision. Those umpires call, whatever happens, without keeping any jinxing up at like who was the umpire, who is the umpire, who is the third umpire, what's the date, and all those things. Keeping all those aside, keeping it not that Indian thing that we have. Let's hope for the best. Go for it. If the game happens. If there's a washout, well, it does favor us. But end of the day, you want to say that we beat a good team and then went through it rather than
Correct.
getting a free pass to it, right? You don't want the
Absolutely.
so-called people within the groups to say that we were lucky or anything. You don't want that. We have played good cricket. Let's execute our skills well. Let England also come out firing, but that last step, let's win it.
Absolutely. And as Rohan said, throughout the entire tournament, ladies and gentlemen, if we have to be the best, beat the best in the ongoing games, quarterfinal, semi-final, whatever it. If England, we defeat England, it's going to be either of South Africa or Afghanistan. So tomorrow morning, it's South Africa versus Afghanistan. Tomorrow evening, India versus England. What a day! It's going to be super Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, all who all are from India. Sit back and enjoy. Thank you, Rohan. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. We are keeping our fingers crossed. Hopefully, when we come back again to do the preview for the finals, we'll be with a happy smile saying India versus, don't know whether it's going to be South Africa or Afghanistan. Till then, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. And thank you so much, and bye bye.